Hey everybody. So this is kind of like a big reveal project, I guess, that I've been working on. What I'm doing is I'm releasing a VST3. It's called Liberty Limiter 2. So it's made by me. I also used. So here's the thing. I know very little about coding. I'm not a coding genius. So I went ahead and just decided to use uh, the new. There's a new coding agent with Grok on X, and I was like, well, I already paid for it, so I might as well use it. Um, and the idea is, I was thinking like, well, hell, like let's just make a limiter because when I look out into the market of limiters, there's a problem, and the problem is you have all of these limiters that are like fashioned specifically for like specific genres, and they're all kind of expensive. They're like when you're looking at them, they're all kind of like they're a little pricey. You could pay anywhere from $200 to like $600 for just one limiter, and then there's like all-in-one limiters that are like professionally made, and oh, don't worry about that. So that's a known issue I'm working on right now. That's look ahead, uh, and it's not as streamlined as I want it to be. So I'm working on that actually right now. But so anyways, back to what I was saying. So the problem with these limiters is that you're running into basically kind of a brick wall, because if you ever step outside of your genre, then hell, you have to like basically go track down all new software for your DAW or like whatever it is that you're using, right? And like imagine if you had a guitar pedal, and that guitar pedal could only be used on a very specific brand guitar and couldn't be used on any other guitar. You couldn't swap it with a bass. You couldn't swap it with acoustic. You couldn't swap it with, a Stratosphere, right? Like it had to be a Fender or whatever, right? Like imagine if that's what you were dealing with. It would be really annoying. So what I'm doing is I'm just making this open source VST. Everybody can use it. It's free. You can just go download it, try it out. Basically, right now, I'm just trying to get the general idea of the software itself working completely and getting like the sensitivity to all the different dials set in, so that way like we can fine tune it a little bit better, right? Um, but here's the thing. So it's free. There's no cost to this. I'm not charging $200. I'm not charging $600. I'm not charging $1,000. It's $0. If you want, you can go bazam right here to the GitHub page. I'll leave a link in the description. And matter of fact, if you go to my hyperfollow page, I've already added the link on the bottom of my general hyperfollow page. And you could just go there, click on the link, and it'll take you straight here. Anyways, it's going to give you two options. You can download using Git. If you don't have Git and you just want to download the zip, you can download the zip file. And then you're basically just going to drag and drop libertylimiter2.vst. You're going to drag and drop that into your VST folder, and then you should be ready to rock and roll. Anyways, part of what I'm also looking at is within the limiter. I'm not really sure how it works in other DAWs. I only have Ableton, right? So I don't know what it's going to sound like, or if it's even going to work at all. I would assume so, because from my understanding, the VST3 format is it's like a general, uh, what do you call it? It's like a format, right? That works with all sorts of things. And the reason I'm pretty sure, because I read up on that when I was reading through how to design a VST. um, which, if you don't know, VST3 is just a plugin that you use on a DAW. But anyways, the whole idea is I wanted to make something that, like, because here's the thing, like, you look at, okay, think about it like this, right? Let's say you're an EDM artist, right? This is going to be the simplest way I can explain this. If you're an EDM artist, you already know you're going to have to get Ableton, right? Ableton is expensive. It's not cheap, right? You can get like the entry level for like, I don't even remember. I think it's like $60 or something. And then like there's a step up from that, and that's like $200. And then there's like a step up from that, and that's like $600, right? So uh, it can get expensive real quick, right? Um, sorry, I'm right now in the video. You're seeing like what I'm trying to do is I was trying to shape and bring this. What I did was I dropped the um, piano keys down, and what I'm trying to do is see how far we can take the piano keys into the bass realm before it becomes like unlistenable, I guess. That's like a good way to say it. So anyways, the idea with this software is, when you're thinking about it, like I said, Ableton is already expensive. You're talking about, like, I mean, you can, yeah, this is, so I just moved on to bass. And this is like trying to shape it and give it more of like a sci-fi sort of feel to it. But anyways, this is like just a general demonstration of where it's at right now, right? This isn't like the finished product by any means. So um but yeah, like I said, so the DAW itself is expensive, and then, you know, after you pay for that, then like there's all these other little plugins. Like if you're into EDM, you already know you're going to have to get Serum or something like a synthesizer, and usually those are like $300. So by the time it's all done and said, it's like you've spent what, $1,200, and that's just like on your bass stuff. Like it's not on any additional add-ons, right? So um oh, this is funny. So I was trying to figure out what happened, because like usually I have everything set to default uh in Ableton. So like I was pressing A, and I was like, why is it not bringing up my automation lane? And anyways, I don't know if it's the VST or if it's an actual issue, or if I was just being dumb and I pressed some buttons. But anyways, I guess I had blocked myself to the MIDI track, and I needed to unlock it, and yeah. Anyways, I eventually got it figured out, and you'll see here, like I'll start jumping into um, getting automation set up, and as far as I can tell, automation works on all the dials. So um, you should be able to and I was thinking about turning the processing into a dial as well, and then you can adjust that in automation. But then I was thinking about like practical use, and it's not super practical. And not only that, but it sounds horrible when you switch between them like live, you know what I mean? But anyways, like I was saying, is everything's just so expensive out there. And then, you know, like I said, once you kind of find the limiter that you're looking for, like minimum, you're looking at $200. And then on the high end, like if you're looking for something very like niche and specific, I mean, you can spend $1,000, right? Just getting a limiter, right? Like, and that's a little ridiculous. It's a little much, right? So like I said, this is basically really what I'm wanting to do. I just decided, I was like, screw it. I'm going to make an open source one, solve my own problem, because, you know, if you're broke and poor, you know, you have one of two options. You can either suck it up and go get the money to pay for something, or if you have the time, you can use the time to solve the problem. And I have time. So I'm solving the problem. Um, but anyways, this is basically just I'm just making an open source limiter that's free. You know, if you want to hop in and use it as a producer, you're welcome to. Uh, like, I don't need credit or anything like that. Basically, just want to kind of help like lessen the load of expenses, especially like on the producer side of things. Uh, and right now, what I'm really looking to do right now is get everything that is on the dials dialed in. Meaning, like, I want to get their sensitivity right. I want to be able to be as like kind of exact as I can be, um, in terms of like, you know, getting the sound right. So really what it comes down to is just dialing it in now, and then once I get it dialed in, and I get it set up the way that I really want it to be, then what I'll do from there is I'll start working on presets, and I'll start working on getting everything dialed in, so that way, and I want this to eventually become an all-in-one limiter, right? So I don't want to just stick to just EDM. You know, if you're a producer and you're going in and like proofing your music and mastering it, and you're into heavy metal or a different genre or whatever, like I would appreciate your input too. Because so here's the thing: when it comes to mixing music, the transients in EDM are completely different than the transients that are in heavy metal. So I want to make sure that this is useful across genres. I don't want it to be nailed down into one specific one. And what I would like to do is just add those flavors as settings in the style menu. And then once that's set up, you'll have like a general, like just a general look at something to where you can just kind of dial it in from there. Um, but what I really want to do is I want to get those styles set up in a way that it makes more sense. I'm going to add more functionality to this, by the way. This is not like just because you see like what 8 dials up there on the screen right now. That's not where we're stopping. Like there's going to be more. It's just I need to get caught up to the point where I'm making sure all of this works before I start adding more to it. You know what I mean? Um, anyways, one of the things that I highly focused on was making sure that the uh, stereograph that you're looking at in the bottom is highly accurate. So this should be like on par with like some of the higher end metering software that's out there. So I kept it like super simple though. I didn't want to like heat map it or do anything like crazy, and you know, like I didn't want to make it visually appealing so much as is functional. You know what I mean? So, anyways, like I said, this is open source. This is just here to kind of, you know, and once this project is done and out of the way, I plan on moving on to other things. I was kind of dipping my toes into like making a synthesizer, but then I was thinking to myself, I was like, dude, I'm going to be honest. Here's the thing: when it comes to synthesizers, Serum, Vital, Massive, they do an amazing job already. And I feel like, and this is just me, you know, this is just my gut feeling, but I feel like those softwares are well priced for what they are. So I don't think this is like I don't think I want to try to like replace the synthesizers that are out there on the market today. They're far too complex. They're far too uh, dialed in already for me to even like really catch up to them. And even if I did catch up to them, it's like, okay, well, you know what I mean? Like, is this something I really want to like? Because I'm gonna be honest, if you're not making money like that, like these synthesizers that are out there right now, I mean, they're run by companies that have like, 20, 30, 40, 50 people that are constantly working on improving it together, right? Um, so, I can't just like vibe code like a whole synthesizer by myself and maintain it, for life or whatever. That's a little steep. But once this limiter gets done, I do want to move on to other things, other plugins. I want to get more specific on bass, and then I also want to make a drum shaper. Um, I want to make a drum shaper where you can get directional sound out of your drums, and not only directional sounds, but I'm talking like, I mean, if you just decide to go ham one day and you're like, I want to make a dope crazy EDM song that's mastered in 7.1 surround sound, and you just want to go bonkers and you want like drum beats from like all 7 different angles, well, you know, good for you. I want to be able to make that so you can make that, right? Um, that's really what I want. I want to make something that is going to be useful and practical. Um, but really, I mean, I wanted to stick to more stereo stuff. But like I said, I mean, if that's what you want to make, I'm on board. But I mean, I want to start moving on to other projects, and eventually, the idea is that we'll have enough VSTs in the works that when it all gets done, at the end of the day, like the average person who just wants to start making music will be able to just kind of jump in and start doing it and not have to pay, you know, $10,000-$20,000 to get all the stuff and all the software and everything to get going. Like, you can just do it, and yeah, maybe it's not as pretty and professional and yada 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 as everything else, right? But at least you'll have a chance, and at least you'll be able to get to work doing these things and being able to be competitive with what's already out there. So that's really what I wanted to do, and that's really what this whole video is about. So is just kind of removing the gatekeepers, uh, and the pricing gates as well from being able to make good music. So anyways, if this is something you like and support, please drop a thumbs up, share this with like your producer friends, whatever, right? Like, just get it out there, and hopefully everybody can start using this and we can get some input, and then we can really just trick it out and get it set up to where, it's good to go, like out of the box, and you don't have to mess with it, you don't have to do nothing with it, it's just there ready to go. So yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the VST. This has taken me like, I mean, quite a bit of time to knock out, but I just wanted to get it out there. So if it seems a little rushed, that's kind of why, because I just want to get it out there so that way like everybody can start testing it. But again, please let me know on that GitHub page, this one right here. You'll see, actually it's a little bit to the left, it's out of frame, but there's a little tab up top called issues. So if you spot an issue with something, or like if you think the sensitivity's off a little bit, go there, leave a post, let me know what you think, and then we'll look into it and kind of see like what we can do to make it better and make it more in line with what actual musicians want, and not just a bunch of like corporate slop that's going to end up like you're going to lose your license in 2 years and you're going to have to buy another one and spend another $600 to buy the latest greatest version of whatever the hell, stupid plugin that's out there, right? Like, it just seems like you're just like, I don't know. Me personally, I feel like I'm getting nickel and dime nonstop with plugins. So, um, but yeah, I don't have like donation stuff set up or anything yet. I haven't hit any of my monetization goals on the channel. So income wise, like, I'm not really there yet. But uh hopefully we'll get there soon, and then I'll try to, if y'all want to help out or whatever, like I'll set up some stuff, and then that way if you have an idea of something that you want in a project, we can work on, and we can at least get that out there. um and that way, like, it's just ready to rock and roll, and other artists can use it too. So anyways, like I said, hope you enjoy the VST, and just let me know what's what, and hopefully we can get it all worked out. So y'all have a great rest of the week, and take it easy.